Guys, today we're gonna try, or today we're gonna do what we call Jamaican rundown, right? So Jamaican rundown is actually fish, whether it can be saltfish or salt mackerel cooked down in coconut milk. That's just what it is, but you know, we gave it that fancy name rundown. So that's what we're gonna cook today. We're gonna cook rundown with dumplings, Irish potato, and sweet potato and ripe plantains, right? So we're gonna first start by breaking the coconut, having the coconut grated so that we can get the milk, right? So we're gonna do that right now. So let's go, guys. Hope we have a wonderful day. And another, what we're gonna do is a Jamaican traditional dish called rundown. So right, so I've taken all the coconut out of the shell, and I am going to go ahead and have these cut up very small so I can have these blended or shredded in my bullet, right? Some people have these graters, you know, with the traditional grater, but you know, it's modern times, so I'm gonna cut these up a little bit and have them put in the bullet. Alright, so see, I've cut everything up in small pieces, as I told you before. Now I am going to go ahead and I'm going to have the bullet shred these so I can get the milk from them. Alright, so see, I've put some water with some of it in the bullet. You don't want to put everything in at once, right? Because you don't want to overdo it. So you just do it in two batches, you know, if you can, or if you can do it in one batch, it's fine. But I'm going to do it in two batches, so I'll let you see. Alright, so see, I'm blending out the coconut, right? So I can go ahead and squeeze it, right? So I'm blending the last portion. You know, I've blended some so far, and this is what I've got. Alright, nice. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna have the juice strained off the trash. So I don't want the trash, I just want the juice. So I'm gonna have that done right now. Alright, so I've had the trash separated from the juice, and now I have the juice, which is very, very, very rich. And you want it very rich when you're doing this, because you want to get it as pure as possible. Look at that, that's awesome. Right, so the next step is the saltfish, which is the next pivotal part of this dish. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have this washed and boiled, because you don't want it too salty, because this is codfish. They call this codfish. In Jamaica we call it saltfish, right? But it's codfish, so it is usually dried, then it's salted to preserve the fish. So it's very salty, so we don't want it all salt, we just want to get a little bit of the saltness there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash it first, and then I'm going to boil it. Alright guys, so I have everything prepared. I have my dumplings made, I've peeled my yam, my potatoes, and so forth. I've also cut up my scallion, thyme, sweet pepper and peppers to spice up the pot. So guys, it's gonna be awesome. So as I told you before, I was about to boil the saltfish, so that's what I'm currently doing right now. Alright, so I also have the pot on for the dumplings and so forth. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna get the pot ready for the rundown to get that started, so you guys can see. Okay, nice. Alright, so now that the saltfish is boiled, right, I'm gonna deal with that in a minute. So I'll just to have that scaled and picked, right, and I'm gonna do that in a minute. But what I'm gonna do now is to start the rundown process. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna have the milk thrown into the pot. Right, good. Right, so now that the milk is in the pot, right, I'm gonna have it covered and I'm gonna let it boil. Right, so once it is boiled down a little to where I want it to be, I'll show you guys. Right, so the milk has to be boiled, right, and it has to be boiled and to a point. Right, I'll let you know how it will look when it gets to that point. All right, so in the meantime, what I'll do is that I'll have my fish dealt with, so when it's time to put that in the rundown, it will be ready. Alright, so my water is boiled, so it's now time to put my stuff in. Right, so I am gonna put my dumplings in. I'm gonna put my yam and my potatoes and my irish in. Don't have any bananas today, sorry. Usually dish is usually done with bananas, but no bananas today. Right, so now my dumplings, yams and so forth are boiling, so I'm gonna let that boil until they're cooked. Right, my coconut milk is boiling up. I had to take the top off because I didn't want it to overflow. It's boiling. Right, say in a little bit, like next 5 minutes or so, I'm gonna put the seasoning in to season up the pot. That's the scallion and so forth that I cut up, so waiting on that part. Okay, so I have picked up the saltfish as I told you. So boiled it, washed it, picked it up. Now it's ready to go. Alright, as soon as it's time. Alright, awesome. So what I've done now is that I have put all the seasoning in the coconut milk as I told you. All my scallion, my thyme, sweet pepper and everything. So I'm gonna let that boil down in there, right, because you want to get all the flavors in. So that's what I'm doing. Right, so the rundown, right, rundown is getting there. Great, awesome. Alright, so we're gonna let that boil. Gonna keep on let that boil until it gets down to where I want it to be. Awesome. So I'm gonna let my seasoning and everything simmer in the pot right now. Alright, so now, alright, so my food part is also boiling well. These are the dumplings, right, and I just put my flat rye plant in. Right, we do boil rye plantains here on the island in Jamaica, so yes, so they're also getting there as well. Alright, so a clean kitchen must always be maintained, so just cleaned up the kitchen enough to use in everything. Alright, wonderful thing about it is that it's almost there. It's almost where I want it to be. Not there yet, almost there. Right, I can smell the flavors right now. Just a pity you can't smell the flavors through the video, but I can smell the flavors right now. It's boiling down. It's wonderful. It smells so nice. It looks nice. Tell me in the comments, does this look nice? Alright, awesome. Now take a look at it. It's awesome. Like it's down to where I want it to be, so I'm gonna turn the flame down because I don't want it to dry out real quickly. Right, so this is where I'm gonna season the pot. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a saltfish. Remember, the saltfish will be added. Right, so now that I've added the saltfish, I will put everything together. Right, so now everything is together. I'm gonna season the pot. guys, so this is what the rundown looks like. This is the finished dish, right? It has the saltfish, it has everything in it. It tastes pretty good, as I said, because it's cooked on coconut milk. I have just seasoned it with my seasoning, so it tastes pretty good, right? Tastes pretty nice. So I'm gonna show you the finished dish in a minute. So my food is also ready as well. Everything looks nice, so I'm gonna share out some so that you guys can see. So this is the finished dish, right guys? So this is my rundown with dumplings, Irish potato, sweet potato, yam, and ripe plantain. I hope you enjoyed, right? So what I want you to do now is to subscribe, like, click the notification bell. That's when we get new contents, you can see it there. So the next time, we show you something again that is done here or synonymous to our island. So this is our Jamaican rundown. Nice.